constructing our silo was attractional marketing with a consumer/customer service orientation. We thought that if we built better churches, we would have better people and communities. The results of this approach have been stunningly poor. With annual receipts of over $100 billion in the United States for all religious causes, we do indeed have the best churches humanity can build. We have 6 flags over Jesus. However, our communities aren't any better, nor are people who show up every week to support the church. When asked, they reveal that they are not a bit happy with their spiritual development, and their lifestyles typically don't reflect anything distinctively Jesus-like. On top of all this, an increasing number of people in our culture simply want nothing to do with this organized, institutional religious activity we call church. Simply put, church as a what isn't cutting it. In the New Testament, the church is not a what, it's a who. Jesus is identified as the head not of a corporation, but of a body. He is not a senior partner in a corporation, he is a spouse in a marriage. In other words, the church is people. Missional followers of Jesus see themselves as the church. I am the church if I am united with Christ, so are you. I am not all the church, and neither are you, but we are the church nonetheless. This means that everywhere you and I are, the church is present. We are as much the church on Monday at work as we are any time we gather with other followers of Jesus for designated church stuff. You and I, as the continuing incarnation of Jesus in the world, are supposedly acting as salt and light in our worlds. This means that church as a who sees its relationship with culture very differently. Take a look at Figure 2. The missional church sees itself as the people of God, a who, already deployed across all domains of culture. These life-place assignments have been made by a God who desires to plant the incarnational presence of His Son everywhere, because God so loves the world, not just the church. Whereas doing church builds the church silo, a what, in our first diagram, being church as a who, in this diagram, releases the church to impact the world right where God's people already are. Clearly, this church is what the New Testament has in mind. As this book points out, there is no reference in the New Testament to church that is smaller than a city. Only church as a what can have us talking about a church in town. The biblical notion of church as a who would lead us into a discussion of the church in town. Competing whats can't think like this. Only whos can. Church as who fulfills the covenant that God first made with Abraham when God created a people to partner with him in his redemptive mission in the world. That covenant indicates that we have been blessed to bless. Simply put, we are the blessing people. That is both our distinct privilege and our distinct responsibility. In our blessing of the world, we live out the passion that God has to bless all people so that they know this about Him and are drawn to Him. It means that the church does not have a mission. The mission has a church. The mission is God's. It is redemptive, addressing everything that sin marred across the entire bandwidth of the human condition. It is a mission being played out in the world beyond just God's people. In this biblical understanding of the church, we grasp that the church is not the point. The mission is the point. We have been created to be boots-on-the-ground partners. On a macro scale, this view of church means that every community should be better if the church gets the mission right. The scorecard can no longer be about how well our individual congregations are doing. The condition of our communities is the scorecard on how well the church is doing.